Well, they done massacred our boys, everybody. They done massacred our boys. Hello and welcome back to the Den, fellow dorks. My name is Matt, and today's video, as you can guess it, is going to be talking a little bit about the morale mechanic and how it's going to be affecting our boys in this new codex. Now, I've been lucky enough to get a couple of games in, and so I just want to talk about my experiences this far. And keep in mind, this is all anecdotal, guys. This is by no means going to be, what it is. I am not a great player. I just like to have fun. And so let's go ahead and talk about that and what I think is one of the biggest hurdles Orcs is going to have to face in the new codex. I, of course, can't do a new video without thanking all of my subscribers who are helping me grow. Thank you so very much for it. I truly appreciate that. If you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, that's all right. I don't mind. However, maybe consider giving it a click button if you do enjoy this content by the end of it. First up, let me tell you a little bit about the couple of games that I have played with the new codex. So my first game that I started, I just wanted to throw all of the boys on the table to see what the T5 was all about. So I threw together this list with 120 boys in it with Gaz, and I just wanted to see if they could tank shooting, see what that was all going to be about. So I asked my buddy Ben, I said, hey man, throw together a absolute meta shooty list from your Ultramarines that he has. And he made a pretty generic Space Marines list, but there was all the shooting. And so long story short, guys, what I noticed is in this particular game, no matter how many boys he killed, I failed every single morale, right? I had 4 squads of 30, which is sweet. Who doesn't? I had 60 shooters and 60 slug of choppas. But it didn't matter if he killed 3 or 4 boys out of the squad or if he killed 5 to 10. Mob rule, right? The new mob rule is more about combating the combat attrition than actually the morale. And to be honest, it's pretty useless. Being within 6 inches of another mob used to be able to, grant you the the leadership of whatever that mob was. And now that we don't have this kind of special rule, your squads of 30 boys are just not going to work. It doesn't matter if you lose 3 or 4 guys, or again, if you lose 10, you're going to fail morale every single time unless you're spending the CP for it, which, to be honest, feels really bad, really bad. So using that knowledge, I built a second list to play in another game, and this time I thought, okay, well, let's see if we can maybe just do more squads of boys and lower on the number. And although it was sweet because you do have more board control, your squads of 10 to 20, so this one I ended up building, I built 2 squads of 10 and 4 squads of 20, and these were about with beast snaggers and with regular boys. Now, when it came down to it, it was the same exact problem. Instead of having to dedicate shooting to maybe like a blob or 2, now he only had to put and kill 2 or 3 out of each, and my chances of failing morale were pretty high. He would pick out, 3 or 4 beast snaggers, 4 or 5 boys, and all of a sudden, I'm losing 1 from every squad for morale, and then combat attrition, 1s, sometimes 2s, would run, and, you usually lose another boy or 2 in that. It didn't take long to realize that boys just felt bad. I had some success with 1 squad that I was kind of sitting back on an objective, and I think that was honestly the best those boys did. Now, I do want to say that, the T5 helped. The T5 was sweet because it did take a couple extra shots to get those boys dead, but at the end of the day, it didn't matter. He was still able to just destroy my squads of boys with putting in minimal shots to them, really. Now, one of my biggest gripes about this too, it wouldn't be as bad because you do have the breaking heads, which is a sweet ability. However, now it's a stratagem, so you can only do that 1 time, and you still have to be within position of your war boss. And in the new codex, you can only have 1 war boss. So now you can only position yourself to keep 1 squad within breaking heads distance there, really, right? And maybe you pay 2 CP for an insane strategy or insane bravery to keep another one around, and you're just burning through your CP to try to keep your boys alive, and that doesn't feel good. Now, again, this is all anecdotal over only 2 games. So again, this is not a large sample size. This is not saying, everything is broken, but it is an observation that I've had early on here. So I think the biggest frustration here is there's just not a lot you can really seemingly do about it, right? You can't just put a couple war bosses around. You can't, keep positioning around to have, there's just no mob rule to work with. And you just don't bring boys. You bring a couple of squads to fill the troops role. And I think the age of the orc boys is over. You're not going to see these giant lists of the green tide running forward, just swarming the board. And that's weird as an orc player, right? I'm happy that Death Dreads and Warbikers are kind of a now sweet thing. I gotta say, I played some Death Dreads and Warbikers in that second round, and it was a blast. The Death Dreads, although 2 of them got murked by Magnus, the other one did a great job in being able to tank some shots. It felt like a better unit, and I am super happy for that Ramshackle. That's awesome, but that's not what this is about. That's another video, guys. There's another thing you can kind of do to try to keep boys around, and of course that's the Grot shields, which I do like Grot shields now. Instead of being, just jumping in front of bullets, a unit cannot be targeted as long as that other group of Gretchen is in front. So that's really cool. I like that. You can use that to keep your Ludas alive a little bit, maybe keep, are Ludas even core? Hold up. If Ludas aren't core, that's real bad. Thank fucking God. Ludas are core. We're good. So you do have the Grot shields. You've got some protection there. But, again, at the end of the day, when we come down to our squads of boys, I think what you're really going to be looking at now in the future is you're going to be looking at more mechanized units. You're going to be looking at just some squads of 10 or 15 to sit on objectives in the back or screen out, of course. They're almost going to be filling a Grot role, which... that was weird to say. I don't like it. Now, commandos, those are still sweet. We'll talk about those in another video as well. I don't know, guys. Tell me what you think. Tell me if you think I'm missing something. Did I miss something? Am I just... I don't know. Well, thanks for stopping by, guys. Again, I appreciate it. Nice, short, sweet video today. Tonight is Friday. I am going to be jumping on the stream tonight, so join me if you guys want to discuss this new Orc Codex. I will not be having a battle report, however, I am going to be working on painting up my beast snaggas still, so if you're interested, see you guys then. Otherwise, I will catch you guys next time. Later.